I hope that my talk doesn't bring you down too much. I'm here to talk about war. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, right? Well, it is good for military contractors, weapons makers, and as it turns out, it's good for rapists. The United Nations reports that 99% of war victims are women and children, and increasingly, women and girls are victims of sexual violence, the least condemned of all war crimes. Women and girls are targeted as a tactic of war. Rape is used as a planned and predictable tool to dominate and instill fear in communities and ethnic groups. The more brutal and shocking the crime, the more effectively it terrorizes communities into submission. Most of us are familiar with the shocking stories of rape during the wars in Rwanda and Bosnia. In Rwanda, 250 to 500,000 women were raped during the 100 days of genocide in 1994. Up to 20,000 children were born to women as a result of these rapes. But the list of countries with documented wartime rapes is staggering. From Congo, Sierra Leone, Burma, and Cambodia, to Syria, Libya, Egypt, and Somalia, to Colombia, Guatemala, Peru, and Haiti, to Palestine, Iraq, and Afghanistan. The list goes on and on. In Mexico, the U.S.-backed war on drugs has brought horrible violence to women, with government security forces often the worst perpetrators. But no discussion of war and women would be complete without mentioning the statistics on rape within our own country's military. In 2010, the Pentagon reported 19,000 cases of rape among women service members. And when you look at the entirety of female veterans, close to 1/3 say that they were victims of rape or assault while they were serving. That's twice the rate of the civilian population. The majority of wartime rapes are gang rapes. They serve as the sharing of the spoils of war and a strengthening of the male bonds among soldiers. As a process of intimidation, targeted rape often happens before the gunfire begins and continues after the guns fall silent. A ceasefire does not mean peace for women if the shooting ceases but the rapes continue. Survivors of wartime sexual violence have huge barriers placed upon them when it comes to reporting the crimes. They fear retribution for themselves or their relatives. They fear being killed by their own family because of the shame that rape brings to the family. They may be accused of being the girlfriends of the perpetrators or having been collaborators with them. Of the few survivors who do report the crime, some have felt able to do so only years afterwards, making it almost impossible that they will ever find justice. So what is to be done? It's obvious that war is a huge incubator for sexual violence against women. My preferred solution is to dissolve the patriarchy and put women in charge. But in the meantime, what if we made a sincere effort to include women at the table when we're talking about conflict prevention and resolution? In Afghanistan, that is exactly what the brave feminist activist Malalai Joya is doing and risking her life to do it every day. A good start, I think, for all of us who are concerned with the issue of violence against women is to earnestly work for peace. Because the war is good for absolutely nothing. It is especially devastating for women. If you want to end violence against women, work for peace. I know I'm running out of time, but I want to conclude by asking my pink sister Heidi to join me. We're going to read a very short Eve Ensler monologue called My Vagina Was My Village.
Bosnian women refugees were interviewed during the war in Yugoslavia in refugee camps and centers. 20 to 70,000 women were raped in the middle of Europe as systematic tactics of war. It was shocking to see how little people did to stop it. But then again, in the United States each year, about 200,000 women are raped, which is another kind of war. This monologue is based on one woman's story. We do it today for that woman and the extraordinary women of Bosnia and Kosovo.
My vagina was green, water soft, pink fields, cow mooing, sun resting, sweet boyfriend touching lightly with a soft piece of blonde straw.
There is something between my legs. I do not know what it is. I don't know where it is. I do not touch. Not now. Not anymore. Not since.
My vagina was chatty. Can't wait. So much saying words, talking. Can't quit trying. Can't quit saying, oh yes, oh yes.
Not since I dreamed there's a dead animal sewn in down there with thick, black fishing line, and the bad, dead animal smell cannot be removed, and its throat is slit, and it bleeds through all my summer dresses.
My vagina singing all girl songs, all goat bell ringing songs, all wild autumn field songs, vagina home songs.
Not since the soldiers put a long, thick rifle inside me, so cold the steel rod canceling my heart. Don't know whether they're going to fire it or shove it through my spinning brain. 6 of them, monstrous doctors with black masks, shoving bottles up me too. There were sticks and the end of a broom.
My vagina swimming river water, clean spilling water over sun-baked stones, over stone clit stones, over and over.
Not since I heard the skin tear and made lemon screeching sounds. Not since a piece of my vagina came off in my hand. A part of the lip. One side of the lip is completely gone.
My vagina, alive, wet, water village. My vagina, my hometown.
Not since they took turns for 7 days smelling like feces and smoked meat. They left their dirty sperm inside me. I became a river of poison and pus, and all the crops died, and the fish.
My vagina, alive, wet, water village. They invaded it, butchered it, and burned it down. I do not touch now, do not visit. I live someplace else now. I don't know where that is. Thank you. Keep rising.